Good morning, welcome to this morning's Outlook. This is Kim speaking. Okay, let's get on and firstly let's look at the news events due out this morning. So Thursday the 2nd. Actually, let's just update the data that came through from yesterday. Well, that's not very good, is it? What's going on here? Okay, we won't look at that then. I don't know what's happened there. But we'll just stick with this one. Okay, let's just get these out of the way. So let's just look at today. I don't know what's going on with Forex Factory, but I use this as a news feed anyway. This morning then we got French manufacturing PMI out, German unemployment rate out this morning. There's a few numbers coming out which could affect the euro there. Eurozone manufacturing PMI final. Oh, these are the final data, so they have a lot less impact. I'm not too sure why they're so highly rated there. The other data there then, ECB speaking at 11, Lane speaking at 11, potential. Bank of England, of course, coming out at midday. So Bank of England midday, press conference at 12:30. That could well create things at the moment. We're seeing softer pound. Okay, there's a few other numbers that have thrown amongst here. Apple earnings after the bell there. So a few numbers there. So let's have a look. Oh, okay. Right, let's have a look at these the technicals here. Starting off then with the euro dollar, and well, yesterday's Fed meeting, they remained hawkish in terms of the talk, but left rates untouched, which was to be expected. But they remained hawkish. They talked about key lines I picked up were the fact that they're not worrying about being leaving it a little while before adding another increasing rates again. So they're not worried about a spell in between. So they're just sort of putting a pre-warning out there that they could still increase rates. The general term was quite hawkish. Now the belief is that they're doing this to avoid people starting to sell bonds, etc., or start to cash out, thinking interest rates are going to reduce quicker than they might actually do, or as quick as they might do. So it will effectively create an early softening, and the effect of the current higher interest rates won't have so much impact. They want the impact to remain. That's the thinking anyway. So there we are. Right, let's look at so we've got Bank of England today to look at. Let's look at the euro dollar first. Let's just come out to the dailies here. So it did break down yesterday out of my ascending channel. Now, these generally work quite well, and it hasn't at the moment. The price has come back in. I'm sitting here scratching my head to where this is going to go. Regardless, if you were comparing the euro with a pound, euro with a dollar at the moment, one's got an economy that's growing and it's strong. That's the Fed's words, not mine. You would expect that the dollar would be doing pretty well. We know that the eurozone, the economy is under pressure, and some of the major powerhouses such as Germany are struggling at the moment. Yet, well, we're seeing what we're seeing. Maybe it's just that it's already had its sell-off and it's near the bottom. Anyway, untouched daily pivot today. We have hit the R1, which takes out, reduces the possibility of probability of this being hit. We could just continue up there. I'm sitting on the fence with it. I don't like the upside potential. To me, it's just got really ugly, so I'll leave it alone as a currency pair to trade. The pound, where we've got news out later on this, you can see the chop that's been running through here on a 4-hourly basis, and certainly look at that ugly picture there on the hourlies with the daily pivots on. Absolutely awful looking thing. The yen, I'm not overly surprised to see something move on the yen here, but it it certainly appears that nobody's as scared of the central bank anymore, and well, we could see it soften if we see the dollar coming back as I expect it will through today. Um, we could see this pushing back up. Um, yeah, so it's yeah, nothing setting there for me at this stage. Aussie US dollar, the Aussie's really sort of taken advantage of things here. It's broken out this horrible, the whole of um, October, it chops within that relatively tight old range. It's a right old mess. Has come up to these prior highs here now, retested those and having a reaction at this stage. Whether it can break that, we'll see. Another one with an untouched daily pivot below. As I say, probability drops for that to be hit, but if it does start selling off, that would be a target for me. US dollar CAD. Again, seeing these moves overnight, I would like a move back into this new monthly pivot. That would be really what I'd like, or even the weekly pivot, which is just above it here. This week is a weekly pivot. Either of these would be quite nice, but at this stage, well, it's trying its best to curl round now. And again, an untouched daily pivot. Maybe that we are going to see these pull back to daily pivots today. It's just a probability it drops from around about 75% to about 20% if we've already hit the R1 or the S1 on these. But doesn't mean it's still got a 20% chance. US dollar yen, New Zealand dollar even. What am I talking about? New Zealand dollar. New Zealand dollar. The New Zealand dollar started stretching its legs yesterday morning. It pushed on through, had a little retrace, but it's off again. It's really been bottoming where it is at the moment, but it is into its monthly pivot. Is it going to roll? Is it going to roll from there? It's looking all bitty at this moment. In a lot of measures, it's one of the weakest. But we haven't seen that. We've seen it sort of take advantage. Well, it's following in the shadows of the Aussie really. But I will keep an eye on this one and see if it does start rolling over more. Have been shorting it previously, but it fought its way back up. Now the dollar Swissy, I'm getting into it puzzles me whether this is in fact going to roll over some more and we're going to see a continuation from this sort of bear flag that's sitting there, or whether we're actually going to get a proper push up and a continued weakness. And it's well, it's quite a mess, and whilst it's like that, it's probably best for me to leave that alone at the moment. Likes the euro yen picking up again. We could have some more continuation through on that this morning. Just looking at it, it's curling round here. Got scope to run through. Perhaps if it gets back above the daily pivot, it hasn't hit the S1 or the R1. It's got some room maybe to move this morning. I should keep an eye on that. It's certainly there on my radar. Other pairs, euro pound. Well, after selling off a bit yesterday, the euro versus the pound, we're seeing all change. Now this fits better with me in terms of the price action here. Really choppy on the weeklies, on the 4-hourly chart, so really horrible. Perhaps on a day where it's already hit daily pivot R1. Not a great one to be looking at really. The cross pairs, euro Aussie, it's just get into here, look at these more. These have started rolling over. We've had these the pound Aussie's better. We've had these starting to roll. I was looking at particularly the pound Aussie, and it's triggered on the pound Aussie for the downside. In fact, the euro Aussie looks like it's triggering to the downside here as well. Just softening on the bigger picture. Maybe we get further downside opportunities to either sell it in the lower time frames. If you can get another retrace into the back underside of the pivot here, it would be quite nice. into the daily pivot. There's a good one. It hasn't hit the S1 yet. Probability maybe a bit better there. So it's on the Euro Aussie. Euro CAD not really setting so much up today. It is starting to edge its way back up there. It broke its and started its movement much earlier than the others. It's yeah, it could well we could get more continuation on this. I like the bounce off the weekly pivot here. Okay, so I'll be watching this morning to see if there's a decent opportunity. Pivots are quite pinched today because of the smaller range from yesterday, so let's take that into account. The Euro New Zealand dollar, again one of my little swing favourites. Now this is showing some potential signs here. So it's tested its monthly pivot. It's whether or not it can gain any traction. The New Zealand dollar's run so well, and at the moment I'm certainly not looking to do anything. I want to see a higher low on the hourly time frames before I start looking back for more of a bounce. At the moment it's already hit the S1. As I say, it takes the probability of the pivot being hit away, so it's weaker. Pound Aussie, I mentioned this was a swing. It's already broken down. It actually would have triggered yesterday, yesterday 10 o'clock. It's triggered the downside here and looking softer. Now of course with the pound all things could change a little bit this morning, but we'll see. But at the moment looking soft here. Okay, I like it, the pound CAD on the bigger picture, by the way, so I'm just would hold into that. The pound CAD doing okay. So anyway, there's a few to look at there. The Euro Yen, maybe we'll see a change around on some of these. Euro CAD certainly, and pound Aussie if you can get into that before it goes too far. Right, let's just switch markets, look at gold and oil. So gold first, and on the dailies here, chopping along here at the moment. It's got the probability of pushing back up. I think it will work its way back up as we run through here. Bit ugly where it's sitting at the moment though. Patience needed there. Oil was coming off, and well, it's that's the picture of oil, is down to the downside. As I said earlier in the week, the big money is changing here, and we're seeing them coming out of their oil longs, etc. And you can see the effect here on the 4 hours. It's showing that oil's just softening that bit more. Again this morning, we'll see what happens. I'll wait until this afternoon, but I'm looking at the move here, just waiting for another step down. Didn't happen yesterday in the earlier stages there. Yeah, just went back to the pivot, didn't react off the pivot, and continued to push. So I'm looking just mostly for shorts at the moment, or full shorts I should say. Okay, quick look at the S&Ps. So we've got Apple reporting later, just bear that in mind on these markets, equity markets. So S&Ps, they've taken the pause in interest rates as being a good thing here, and continuing their little bounce at the moment. Technically it's been looking quite soft. Bigger money started moving back in last week, so perhaps we got more upside to be done. The DAX this morning, just have a look at what the DAX is up to. So the DAX is pushing up there strongly as well. Just looking through here, the DAX is continuing its move this morning. Overall it's looking more positive. And finally the FTSE, not anything really setting up on these for me, but FTSE's possibly got a bit more scope of upside here. So the higher lows kicking through. Okay, that's pretty much it for me this morning. There is a bit of a more positive slant on the equity markets. Um, Oil still weak. Gold, well, I think that will come back more positive again. It had its biggest surge, so it might be a bit slower. But really, it's a case of looking through the the markets on. I think the crosspairs stand a better chance on the forex side of things. Okay, but I'll leave it there. Have a great day. Bye for now.